Check. Good morning, traders. This is Perry Wilkie with StartUpTrading.com. It is 3 minutes till 9 a.m. Eastern Time on Monday, January 12th. So looking back at Friday's action, uh, we really had a little bit of that impulse up into all-time highs for the ES, and we'll look back and see. So we definitely have the look above now. So we'll have to see if it's a look above and go or look above and fail. You can see that we also got into that what I call that Superman up, where the majority of the session after the initial balance was spent between the first and second standard deviation of the VWAP, uh, and just really just a little bit of a squeeze, right? And then we got up over. We printed 628 basically on the Qs. We printed 695 on the SPY. We printed 69.78 on the cash market. And then looking at where we're at, the point of control from Friday was 7,004 quarter for the ES. The next one is just down below at 6,900. So that could be our playing field, but we are, one time framing up. We did just make that high. So let's see if Friday's bell low holds. That's going to be right at 69.56. We're trading 67, so it wouldn't take, much more to get down there. It's definitely possible, but we'll have to see, where we go. And we're still in that same formation, right? We haven't broke this formation yet for the Nasdaq. And I've said, over and over again, whatever way the Nasdaq breaks, the ES should follow. Uh, the ES is, I consider this a bear flag. Uh, you can call it what you want, but you usually, I would say more times than not, probably like 65, 68% of the time, this pattern is resolved to the downside where, most traders believe it's to the upside. So we'll see, where that goes from now. Looking at value right now, we are below value basically for all of the indexes from Friday, right after we just come off. And to be honest with you, I don't know if it had too much to do with Iran or Powell, and it really doesn't matter why, right? We're day traders. We don't really care. We just want movement. Uh, so, we got up to that technical level where we've looked above. So we'll have to see if it's a look above and go or fail. So what I think is going to be interesting this morning is to see, uh, in the initial balance, did we get a push one way or another, or we just kind of digest where we are and then, do something after lunch. Before we get too much into uh, this week and technicals, let's look at the calendar. So there's no scheduled news for today, although, this is a market that loves unscheduled news. But we do have some big news events for the week, right? Our catalyst for this week are CPI tomorrow. I don't know how AP or ADP got behind the ball, but tentative tomorrow for 8:15. Uh, who cares? Unemployment come out last Friday, so screw you, ADP. And then you've got retail sales and PPI on Wednesday, and then our normal unemployment claims on Thursday, if I could speak, and then that's it. So really, the big news for the week, as far as what's scheduled, is going to be you know tomorrow and Wednesday's 8:30 a.m. prints. So keep that in mind as you're trading. Looking at the cash market closed at 69.66. Futures are down about 40, so that will put us right around 69.25 is where we'd be right now. And there's not a lot of action around here, 6,900, 69.50, so plus or minus 25 points from here basically on the cash market. Looking at the SPY, it's a little bit easier to digest. The SPY closed on Friday at 694. We're currently trading 690.35. So, right in here. And value for today, as far as options go, is really 692 to 696. So below there, you're going to need that VIX to, be above Friday's high and holding to and the futures and the indexes to get below Friday's low. So you need the VIX above Friday's high, you need the futures below Friday's low to really get into that negative gamma potentially. Otherwise, I think we just kind of creep back up here into the sweet spot, and whether it's 692 to 693 or 692 to 695 to 6, we'll see. But that would be reversion to the mean. That would be basically pretty standard action. And then looking at the Qs, you got 626.60 was the close, and we're currently trading 622. So we're already at the kind of the bottom end of fair value for the Nasdaq. 622 to 630 is really it. Not that we can trade all the way back up towards 630, but we could definitely get a test of 624 to 626, I think, pretty easily today. And then we'll, go from there. Again, you're going to need futures really, holding below Friday's low, and one time framing down with the VIX, one time framing up above Friday's high, really to get, that pullback that, the bears would really want from here. Otherwise, I think it could be just a little bit of frustration. We'll see if we get into value, but, you know, I would say there's a fair chance of a gap fill sometime during this session. You got the points of control up around there. You got very thin trading from in the overnight session from above where we are really uh, up towards Friday's, highs. And then I would think that the first time we get up there, that would be the sell point. Not that you need to try to sell that as your trade, but if you swing along up into there, you should probably just be done for the day. And there should be some really good opportunities tomorrow and Wednesday with CPI, PPI, and retail sales coming in. Uh, I really don't have anything else since Jack is going to be on Ninja Trader Live. I saw him post on X last night. So I'm sure he'll post a link for that if he hasn't already. And then I don't know what his schedule will be after that, but most of us don't trade much in the afternoon anyways. So looking at, since he's not here, we can pull up one of his studies, right? The mid for that we're looking at is 69.86. So if we're going to remain weak, right, we're going to stay below and not get any traction over the 69.86 on the ES, and it's 25,800 half on the Nasdaq, right? That's where the mid is for today. So keep those levels in mind with the VWAP. So if you're above the VWAP uh, and above this, it's a little bit could revert back to the mean, but right now the indexes are on sale. We'll see if anyone wants to buy the sale, right? Or if we go out of business. You guys have a great day. I'll talk to you tomorrow.